Good evening and welcome to the historic Watertown Civic Arena, the legendary home of the Watertown Arrows. You are watching Arrow TV, the best high school sports broadcast, produced entirely by Watertown High School students and community members. My name is Cam Corey and I'm your host for tonight's action between the number 4 ranked Watertown Arrows and the Sioux Falls Roosevelt Rough Riders. Watertown comes into tonight with an 11-6 record on the year. They are 6-2 in conference play. Sioux Falls Roosevelt, on the other hand, they come into tonight with a 2-12 record on the year. The Arrows are looking to keep momentum in, and keep the conversation going as being one of the top 5 teams in South Dakota volleyball. The Rough Riders, however, they've had some flashes of progress, and they're looking to get a win, a big road win here in the Watertown Civic Arena. To say that the Rough Riders are hungry is an understatement here this evening. So what has been Watertown's their identity this year? And I think we can sum that up in balance. If we look at the hitters for the Watertown Arrows, on the outside, they have had Kerrigan Klatt. She's a junior. They've had Ellie Thury on the outside. They've had Anna Hertz on the outside. Siri Bach has played some middle. Kerrigan Klatt has played some middle. Also in the middle, Reese Munger. On the right side, we've had Callie Ellis. We've had Siri Bach. So that front row is any time, any night, you might have a different person leading that team in kills. So balance really is the one-word description for this Watertown Arrow team this season. The person we haven't talked about, though, is Kinsey Russell. Kinsey Russell comes in with 463 assists on the year. And as we talk about balance, if she's able to get a good pass and get under the ball and set her hitters in the middle and get them running, and that is either Klatt or Munger or Bach, and that will widen the outsides, and that has happened this year, allowing the pin hitters both on that outside and the right side to have, maybe a one-on-one type of atmosphere, so one blocker, one hitter. So that is an area that Kinsey Russell is distributing the ball very well here in this season. Andy Olson, she is the anchor for the Watertown Arrows. She plays that libero position. This year, Coach Bellum has moved Olson over, her libero, which is played by Olson, to the left back. Historically, Coach Bellum has played the libero in the middle back. This season, she's moved the libero to the left back, and Olson mans that back row with 224 digs and 335 receptions on the year. Olson is the main serve receiver for the Arrows. We talked about her earlier, and that is Anna Hertz. She leads the Watertown Arrows with 136 kills, and she just has a lot of tools in her toolbox. We can see her hit deep corners. We see her hit sharp cross. We can see her hit line. We'll see her do the roll shot in the middle and tip and just find that open court. So she has been a lot of fun to watch this season. Siri Bach and Reese Munger headline the front wall for the Watertown Arrows, and they have combined for 94 total blocks. Munger has played all season out of that middle, which allows her to block out of the middle, and then, of course, going to both pins to block as well. And she has just been, at times, an absolute owner of the net this year. Siri Bach has moved, as of late anyway, from that right side into the middle. And in the middle, her offensive game has become more productive, while her defense and blocking has remained really steady. So that has been something to watch as well. Kerrigan Klatt, though, is hitting at a .344 efficiency for the Watertown Arrows. She has recently moved from that middle position over to the outside position, and when she was in that middle position, she was hitting upwards middle 400s in efficiency. But she's seeing the ball a lot more often now on that outside position. And for those of you that are maybe novice volleyball fans, you'll see the outside hitters be set the ball more often, because that's the only place that a setter can go to, and that is dependent upon the pass of the back rower on that serve receive. Roosevelt Rough Riders, their record doesn't tell the whole story. They've had some streaks of really strong play. They had a sweep of Rapid City Central and just a great 5-setter with the Mitchell Colonels. So we're going to see some things out of a Roosevelt team this year that just last year they were in the state tournament, and we'll talk more about that, because the last time these two teams met was in the state tournament down at the Denny in Sioux Falls just a season ago. For the Rough Riders, we can talk about consistency. In set numbers 1 and set numbers 3, Roosevelt has really struggled with errors, and so we want to see, or Roosevelt and the fans of the Rough Riders would like to see Roosevelt cut down on those errors, especially in sets numbers 1 and 3. In set number 2, they seem to figure it out, and then some adjustments maybe by their opposition causes them to fall back into being error prone in set number 3. So we'll look for some consistency here, specifically on sets 1 and 3. Set scoring averages point to Watertown having hot starts in sets number 1. That is actually an advantage here in this match for the Watertown Arrows, and isn't something that Roosevelt is looking forward to all that much, because their set number 1s, as I just mentioned, are have not been error-free. So Watertown better in set number 1 than they are in sets 2 and 3. But they have come out and played really well in sets 4 and 5 this year. So advantage maybe to the opposition here this evening in sets 2 and 3. Well, the advantage goes to the Arrows in set number 1. And if we do go to sets 4 and 5, history tells us advantage to the Watertown Arrows. Some matchups here to look. Again, we talk about Andy Olson, the libero, and she was our post-game interviewee last game, and she talked about how she reads the ball and gets into position off of those hitters. And so we'll look to see that matchup. Andy Olson against the outside hitters of the Rough Riders here this evening. And then we look at the middles of Watertown versus the middles of Sioux Falls Roosevelt. The middles for Watertown, they're long, they can jump, they have offensive ability, but their blocking is just super strong. So the middles of Roosevelt will look to move them around, avoid that block, and when they have an opportunity, try and get a soft block on the big middles for Watertown, which will allow the back row to cover and dig up those attacks from the middle of Watertown and get Roosevelt back into system. Another thing we want to see here this evening is, can Watertown pick on the seams to keep Roosevelt out of system? that is something that Watertown has historically been really good at, is their serving. And we'll look to see that continue here this evening. Roosevelt will look to also be aggressive on serving, and that has been an issue and an area for Watertown to work on, has been, you know, at times their serve receive, and that has caused Watertown to go out of system. If Roosevelt can be aggressive in their service here tonight and put Watertown maybe a little bit in their heels and get them out of system, then that obviously holds well and beneficial for Roosevelt. Watertown is going to look to serve tough, go to their middles, and that'll allow the pins to spread out. That has been the success for them this season. And then look to block, block press the hitters for Roosevelt. Roosevelt is going to look to pass first, and then, stay in system. Defensively, as I mentioned, get a hand and slow down the balls of the big hitters for Watertown. So some players that we want to follow tonight. Russell's going to give us the tempo. She's going to set that plate for the hitters, whether it's pins, whether it's middle hitters, back row, we can see it all. Olson in the coverage, and Anna Hurt, she has been the finisher for the Watertown Arrows here this season. If Watertown can stack some early 3-4-0 runs, get those micro runs, this could be a quick match here tonight. However, if Roosevelt extends those rallies, wins some scramble points, and gets us in long exchanges, this could be a battle here on the Watertown Civic Arena court. We're going to turn it over to our public address announcer, Mark Bellum, for our national anthem and starting lineups.
For our student athletes. Without them, these contests would not be possible. At this time, we ask you to remain standing and join us in honoring America with the playing of our national anthem. Please show proper respect to the flag by removing your cap or hat and stand at attention with your right hand over your heart. Veterans and active duty personnel not in uniform may salute the flag. Athletic training services and care of our athletes are provided by Prairie Lake Sports Medicine through certified athletic trainer Faith Hewlett. Arrow Care, close to home. Now let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First, for the visiting Sioux Falls Roosevelt Rough Riders. Number 23 is a senior setter Christy Montour. Number 7 is a junior outside hitter Maya Nilsson. Number 21 is a sophomore middle hitter, McKinley Jacobson. Number 1, a sophomore defensive specialist, Bergen Roth. Number 17, a junior middle hitter, Aubrey Terrell. Number 12 is a sophomore right side, Ava Peterson. And your libero, number 4, and a senior, Olivia Volkmer. Number 11 is a junior outside hitter, Olivia Bigley. Assistant coaches, Jessica Vandrevek, Sierra Schmidt, Danielle Soretti. Head coach of the Rough Riders, Mira Medina. And now, your Watertown Arrows. Number 2 is a junior defensive specialist, Jordan Revers. Number 3 is a senior outside hitter, Anna Hertz. Number 8, a senior middle hitter, Siri Bach. Number 10, a junior middle hitter, Reese Munger. Number 11 is a senior defensive specialist, Ellie Thury. The center, number 12 and a senior, Kinsey Russell. And the libero is number 4, junior Andy Olson. Assistant coaches, Kelly Kepwick, Erica Paulson, Katie Tobin, Kelly McCarty. Head coach of the Arrows, Rosemary Bella. And now it's time for an ace in your face.
And welcome back to the Watertown Civic Arena. The starting lineups have been announced for this matchup between the Sioux Falls Roosevelt Rough Riders. They come into tonight with a 2-12 record versus the Watertown Arrows, coming into tonight as the 4th rated team in South Dakota AA action with a record of 11-6. For the Arrows, Ellie Thury in the right back position, Andy Olson in middle back, Jordan Remmer starting tonight in left back. At the net in the outside hitter position is Anna Hertz, Reese Munger in the middle, and the setter, Kinsey Russell. Olivia Bigley, a junior outside hitter to serve for Roosevelt. Point goes to Roosevelt, and that's what we talked about. Bigley was gave a good serve, caused that pass to go tight to the net, not allowing Russell to get a good setup, and tipped over, but the Roosevelt able to find the floor. And there we see a better set for the Arrows, dug up by Roosevelt. Big swing from the outside hitter of Maya Nilsson, a junior. She gets on the board with her first kill. Roosevelt with a quick 2-0 lead here in set number 1. Ace for Olivia Bigley, the 5'10" junior outside hitter. Roosevelt up 3-0 in the early goings of this set number 1. Bigley to serve. Olson goes to the middle. Munger is blocked. Hertz with the roll shot, dug up by number 1 of Rought. Now to the outside. Dug up by the Arrows. A slide attack. By Jacobson, it is dug out, and there Anna Hertz is gonna get the kill with the push to the deep corner. Good start for Roosevelt. This will put the Arrows on the board with 1, sending Kinsey Russell to the back row. That'll bring Torrance Tipton in, a sophomore. She will play right side for the Arrows. Good dig in the back row by the libero. Munger is blocked by McKinley Jacobson, a 6-foot sophomore. the setter for Roosevelt. Goes back to serve. Good pass up by Olsen. Tipton's gonna swing, and she hits that long. Ace for Moncur. So Roosevelt coming out, firing on all cylinders here in set number 1, up 6-1. Free ball to the Arrows. Russell's going to go to the middle. Quick set to Munger. It's rejected. Now over to Hertz. Hertz swings, goes off of the block for a Tool. Point to the Watertown Arrows. That will send the middle blocker, Brees Munger, back to serve. And saved by the out of rotation call. You see the down ref, he waves his hand over the floor with the open hand, and that means the Roosevelt Rough Riders were out of rotation. Munger had served that long, so she is going to get another opportunity and a point. This time it does go in. Big swing, and that is a touch. Kill for Maya Nilsson, and you can see she is getting a good approach and really hitting that ball with some downward rotation, which just went off of the blocker of the arrow blocker and out for a point. Russell's going to go to the outside, and we're seeing Siri Bach in for the first time. She hits from the outside position and gets her first kill. See Hensley Hogue come in for the Watertown Arrows. She will serve. Line serve, dug out, gonna go to the outside. Roll shot, and that goes wide left. So a hitting error for Aubrey Terrell, a junior middle hitter. Hogue, a junior. And touch is called by the line judge. Point to Roosevelt. So Roosevelt moving the ball well at the net, getting a lot of different hitters involved. That will send Maya Nilsson to the back row, and she has been an early nemesis for the Arrows. Big hit for Torrance Tipton. She puts that down to the floor. Torrance Tipton will check out, and Jordan Remmers will come back into this ball game. Jordan Remmers, another junior for the Arrows. Float serves that over. Roosevelt with a right side attack, and kill by Eva Peterson, a sophomore. She stands at 5'9". They've got her marked as a middle hitter, but there she did hit out of the right side. Big swing by Siri Bach for the kill. That will send the libero wearing the purple jersey to serve. Miss hit by the Rough Riders. Point to Watertown. Watertown slowly coming back into this match. Only down 1 here in set number 1, 9-8. Free ball over to the Arrows. Russell's gonna go to the outside to Clack, and Clack puts it down for a kill. And as we talked about in the pregame, this team is about balance. Any one of these hitters, that front row, has the firepower to terminate the ball. A lot of fun to watch as we see a miscommunication there between the Roosevelt setter and hitter. And block by Aubrey Terrell. And we've seen the quick set to Munger a couple of times now, and Munger just not finding the court here in the early going. So credit the Rough Riders in the timing of that block on the quicks to the middle. Well, Klatt's gonna get another kill, this time hitting out of that right side. We mentioned Kerrigan Klatt hits at a .344 efficiency, and that will only help her efficiency as she had 2 swings, 2 kills here in set number 1. Ellie Thury back to serve. Munger tried to help that off of the dig, and it just goes out of bounds. Roosevelt regains the lead 11-10. Olivia Beagley back to serve. Out of system set to Hertz. It is dug out in the back row, now going to the right side. Punched over by Roosevelt. Big swing by Hertz for a kill. That is one of the things that Roosevelt wants, to keep the arrows out of system. Allowing Russell to set the ball up and put it up on a platter does not bode well generally for the opponents of the Watertown Arrows. This front row has the potential and the ability to terminate the ball at a really high percentage. Tip from the middle position and a kill for McKinley Jacobson. McKinley Jacobson, a 6-foot sophomore. She's got her first kill. Does have a block here this evening. Tipped in with a sharp cut. It is dug out by Roosevelt. Swing from the right side, blocked. Good net play by Anna Hertz. Didn't give up on it. Just hung at the net, and she puts that down to the floor for her 5th kill, I believe, this evening. A quiet 5 in the early going. That'll send Reese Munger back to serve. She goes line. The Arrows are going to get a free ball. Munger with the pass to Russell. Russell going to go, and a quick back to Tipton, and blocked by, was that Nilsson that blocked that, or was that McKinley Jacobson? Not exactly sure, but either or, both of them. Good block on the A set for the Arrows. And this time we do see Bach into the net on the swing. So that point will go to Roosevelt. Roosevelt now up to 14-12. The missed serve by the libero of Volkmer, Olivia Volkmer, a 5'6" senior libero. Hensley Hogue will serve. Just a fantastic server is Hogue. She's gonna put it up with her right hand and hit it with her right hand. Big hit by Aubrey Terrell off of Tipton for a point. So Tipton needs to press the net right there. She was pretty vertical. Klatt's gonna free ball this over. Sets up a middle attack. Hogue with the dig. Kill for Kerrigan Klatt. Kerrigan with a really good angle gets up on that. Hits it into the block. And you can see the coach for Roosevelt talking about shoulders and hands, trying to direct the ball into the middle of the court rather than just staying with the angle of the hitter. Ace for Jordan Remmers. side attack. It is dug out by the Arrows. Going to go to Klatt. Klatt is rejected for the first time here this evening. Going to go back to her. She rolls shots. It is dug out. Going to go to the outside. Nice dig by Olsen. Back to Klatt. Klatt hangs in the air and puts that down for a kill. Kerrigan Klatt, one of the high jumpers on this team. Her and the middle of Reese Munger, both high jumpers. I believe both of them state tournament or state meet qualifiers, which obviously bodes well for a team when you have some high jumpers that are playing the net as well. We will see Bergen Roth, a junior DS, back to serve with this match all knotted up, 16 apiece. Right side attack, rejected by the Rough Riders of Beagley and Terrell. So Beagley and Terrell put on the block party. They put their team up 17-16. Back row attack, and just out. So we're seeing Roosevelt move the ball around, pin to pin, use their middles, and now we've seen them go to the back row. That hitting error did tie up this ball game, sending Andy Olsen to the back row. Big swing from that outside position by Beagley, and Beagley hits the floor, getting the kill for Roosevelt. That is Beagley's first kill on the evening. Munger swings from the outside, and she is blocked by McKinley Jacobson. Roosevelt Rough Riders up 19-7 in set, 19-17 in set number one. We'll be back for set number one, the finish in just a moment. And welcome back to the Watertown Civic Arena. We are in a good one here in set number one. And this, maybe some people would say, an unexpected good one in set number one. Roosevelt up 19-17. Historically, Roosevelt has struggled in set number one, and Watertown Arrows have been strong in set number one. So tonight, maybe you know, a little bit of reversal. We'll see how this set ends up. Big swing by Munger, and Munger hits that long. You can see she is frustrated with herself. Roosevelt up 3. Munger tries to roll shot that. She is rejected again. But I like what the Arrows are doing. I mean, you've got only 2 hitters in the front row in Klatt and Munger. And Kinsey is keep feeding Munger, and that's the faith and the trust that she has in her hitters, is to, hey, work through this. You've got this. And you're seeing the trust that Kinsey Russell has in her team. And so that bodes well in this type, you know, part of the season, that she continues to go back to her hitters, as we see Thury on the serve. And that is a touch call by the up ref. You can see Roosevelt, after that swing, neither line judge called a touch, and they looked up at the up ref, and they were asking for the touch, and the up ref agreed with them. So point to Roosevelt. Russell tight set, not a lot Hertz can do, and she goes over that center line. Roosevelt up 23 to 18. Coach Bellum's going to call a timeout and talk about it. Once again, this is the second timeout of set number 1. We're going to catch our breath. We'll come back for the finish of set number 1 in just a moment. And we're back for the ending of set number 1 when we talked in the pregame about balance. We talked about the Watertown Arrows having balance, but tonight it is the Rough Riders. They have 5 players on the board with kills here this evening. The Arrows with 4 players on the board with kills, led by Hertz and Clapp from that outside position. Russell back to serve. And that is going to be an ace for Kinsey Russell. 2 straight points for the Arrows. They've got some work to do. They were down 5, 23 to 18. Trying to come all the way back and win set number 1. Middle attack. 3 points in a row as we see Jacobson with the attack error. Russell again with the serve. Good serve to the libero. Go to the outside, dug up by Russell. Outside attack to Hertz. Hertz swings. Hits that into the net. Roosevelt up 24 to 21 in set number 1. Christy Monker, the setter, back to serve for Roosevelt. And we see Tipton with the kill. That'll put Munger back at the service line. And Roosevelt's going to take set number 1, 25 to 22, off of the big hitting from the outside of Maya Nilsson. We'll be back for set number 2 in 2 minutes. And welcome back to the Watertown Civic Arena, where the Sioux Falls Roosevelt Rough Riders took set number 1 from the Watertown Arrows, 25-22. Roosevelt did it behind the big hitting from the outside of Maya Nilsson, a 5'9" junior outside hitter. We're going to see a little bit of a rotation change for the Arrows. Starting in the front row will be Callie Ellis. She'll be hitting out of that right side. Munger will stay in the middle, and Anna Hertz on the left side. Kinsey Russell will go back to serving. Hertz swings, it is dug out. Gonna go miscommunication, but good rundown there by Rought. First point goes to the Watertown Arrows. This historically has been a set the Arrows have kind of dipped down in, and Roosevelt has gone up in their previous matches. We'll see if that continues or if the trend changes, as generally Watertown are hot starters. Did not see that here tonight, as we see Callie Ellis is blocked by Nilsson and Jacobson. So send Christy Moncure back to serve. And that is going to be a tight pass by Thury. Ace for Moncure. So Watertown looking to play their game, played their tempo. They've played a little slower than they normally do, as we see a kill for Hertz. And this time Russell setting up Hertz in the right side. Hertz now with her 6th kill, I believe, on the evening. Olsen back to serve, libero to libero. And there we see Ellis and Bach combine for the kill. Olsen remains at the service line. Russell look to take advantage. Good cover by Olsen, saving the block. And they're gonna call, looks like maybe Kinsey Russell in the net or over the line. Oh, they called Siri Bach, excuse me. I couldn't see the down ref's numbers, but I was informed that they called Siri Bach into the net. Roosevelt with some good back row play. Kill from the right side. Eva Peterson with the kill. High set by Russell, and Bach was able to get on top of the ball and over the block and down for a kill. As we'll see Hensley Hogue come back into this match, and she will serve. Serves from that back corner. Good serve by Hogue. Puts it down into a short serve in the 4 zone for an ace. Russell covers. Platt with the attack. She is rejected now to Ellis. Ellis softly over. Roosevelt on the attack. Hits the seam between Hogue and Russell. Eva Peterson with the kill again. So Eva Peterson having herself a good start to this set, as we see a service error for Roosevelt. Watertown up 6-5 in set number 2. They are down 1-0 as we see Jordan Remmers come back in to serve. Russell goes to Bach on the slide and down for the kill. Jordan Remmers, a 90% server. She has 16 aces on the year. Make it 17 as she paints the line. Arrows up 8-5. Overpass and down for Bach. Bach takes advantage of that serve-receive error and puts it down to the court for a kill. That time, Remmers serves it out the back line. That will bring Bergen Roth back into the match, and Roth will serve. Good ball control by Roosevelt off of that hard hit of Bach. Klatt with the kill.
Back to serve for the Arrows, senior Siri Bach.
Kerrigan Klatt with her 5th kill on the evening. Siri Bach back to serve. Float serves that one over. Is tacked out of the outside. Dug up by Hogue. Hogue's gonna free ball it, and miscommunication between Klatt and Hogue. You know, you want to see Hogue probably go and take that right there. She has the better angle. Klatt is, 12 meters back away from the net and with her back towards the ball. And there you see Munger just not ready for the serve receive. She's backpedaling instead of staying low and watching that ball. She thought it was going to go past her to Hogue. So ace for Roosevelt. And the Arrows are going to catch a break. As you see, Russell couldn't do anything with that tight pass to the net. So she tried to, do that setter dump into that 4 zone. But Roosevelt was in the net and called for the violation. Point does go to the Watertown Arrows. Ellie Thury back to serve. Good serve by Thury. Right side attack. Olsen gets the dig. Right side attack and dug up by Thury. Good read by Ellie Thury. Keeps that alive. And a miss hit by Olivia Beagley. That point was all because of the Arrows' ball control, reading defense, and not giving up. And then we see after the great play of Thury, she goes back to serve and has a service error. Roosevelt serving, down by 3. Slide attack, and that is pretty for Munger. So Reese Munger going off of 1 foot and putting that down into the well for a point. We'll see Callie Ellis comes back into this match for the Arrows. Russell goes back to serve. Middle attack by Jacobson, and Munger is there for the block, and you can see Munger's having a little bit more fun this set as the Watertown Arrows up 14-9. They are down 1-0 as we see Russell serves that. Point to Watertown as that attack was out. Moncourt tracks that down, gives it off to Nielsen. Nielsen swings, and they're gonna say that's out. Nielsen was looking up, or actually the entire roster of Roosevelt looking up and thinking maybe there was a touch. No touch called. Point to the Watertown Arrows. Overpass, Munger doesn't miss it. It is dug out, however. Good dig in the back row by Haley Golden. That one drops down inside the end line. Point to Watertown Arrows. Watertown Arrows rolling in set number 2, up 17-9. We're back in just a moment. And welcome back to set number 2. Watertown Arrows up 17-9 in this set. They are down 1-0 as we see Kinsey Russell at the service line. Russell's going to track that down, gives it to Hertz. Hertz hits that dugout by Roosevelt. Moncourt going to go back to Nilsson, and Nilsson off the high hands for a kill. Maya Nielsen
gets the kill on the touch.
with her 4th kill this evening. 5th kill, excuse me. Russell goes to the middle, and Munger doesn't miss that quick and puts that down for a kill. So Reese Munger now getting into the rhythm. And that is not something that Roosevelt wants to see when the Watertown hitters get into the flow of the game and into rhythm. When they start rolling on all cylinders, watch out. Monker tracks it down. Nilsson, big swing, and that is going to be touch. Point to Roosevelt. Nilsson, a really good outside hitter. She is seeing her attacks really well, seeing the the court really well, and putting the ball just off of the blockers. Point to Siri Bach. Hitting out of that outside position. Hensley Hogue will go back to serve. Free ball to Roosevelt. Monker is going to go to the middle and blocked by Bach. Aubrey Terrell was there. It was the quick set, and Bach rejects that one. Arrows up 20-11 in set number 2. Monker now goes to the right side. 2-hand push. And they're going to say a lift off of the 2-hand push, and that lift is going to be called on the Arrows Russell. As I mentioned earlier, these two teams, they actually played twice last year. Once in the regular season as we see Callie Ellis getting the kill. Callie Ellis from the right side, using the block to her advantage and finding the floor. These two teams did face off last year twice, once in the regular season down in Sioux Falls, Roosevelt. And in that match, Watertown did come out victorious. These two teams again matched up in the state tournament as we see a net call on, it looks like they're going to be calling Aubrey Terrell for that net call. Down in the state tournament in the 5th and 6th place match last year, it was a dandy of a match. It went all 5 sets. Roosevelt did come out victorious, but it was a close one, back and forth. The set number 1 went 18-25 to Watertown. Set number 2 went 19-25 to Watertown. And then Roosevelt last year in that state tournament ended up with the reverse sweep. As we see a kill by Eva Peterson on the right side. A reverse sweep for Roosevelt, coming out victorious 25-20, 25-19, and 15-13 to beat Watertown and take 5th place last year, the last time these two teams faced off. And we're going to see Bach mishits that point to Roosevelt, 23-14. Got an interesting story too, storyline out of that game between one of the Roosevelt players in Avery Allenstein and one of the Watertown players in Grace Corey. We'll talk about that in the break as we see the Arrows up 23-15 in set number 2. Roosevelt back to serve. Moncure goes to the middle, rejected by Bach. Terrell with the quick set. And Bach right there. You see the Roosevelt coach talking to Terrell, keeping her spirits up. It was a good attack. Free ball to the Arrows. And you see just that hang in the air of Platt and down for the point. We're going to take just a short break, and then we'll come back and talk about the former match between the Watertown Arrows and the Roosevelt Rough Riders and 2 of their players. We'll be back in just a moment. And welcome back to the Watertown Civic Arena. We have a match here that is all tied up 1 set apiece. You know, I was talking about that 5-setter in the state tournament last year that ended both of these teams' seasons. It was in the 5th and 6th place game. And there was Avery Allenstein, a middle hitter for Roosevelt. She was a senior last year, and she was being recruited and actually had committed already to play for Central College down in Iowa. And she knew that Grace Corey was also being recruited. She was a setter for Watertown. And that match got over. And it was Avery had kind of met Grace at the net there and said, you know, we don't always have to be on opposite sides of the net. And shortly thereafter, Grace Corey ended up committing to Central, and now, you know, former foes, a middle hitter for Roosevelt and a setter for Watertown, both playing for the Dutch down in Central College. But they, you know, didn't know each other except for playing on opposite sides of the net, and happened twice last year. And then now they become teammates. So kind of a neat story as those two are playing and teammates now. Here we have in this match 1 set apiece as Sioux Falls Roosevelt will start set number 3 from the service line. Hertz off the block and down for kill. Anna Hertz. That is Hertz's 8th kill on the evening. She has 8 kills and 2 errors from the front row. Nilsson swings high off the hands of the blocker of Munger. Munger on a quick attack and hits that one into the net. Point to Roosevelt. They'll send Moncur back to set for Roosevelt. Christy Moncur, a senior setter for Sioux Falls. And we see Torrance Tipton back into set number 3. She swings, good attack, but better dig by the Rough Riders. And then that transition from the outside pin area all the way to that right side to block. And she was just a little bit late getting there, and Roosevelt was able to get the point as we see Munger swing and hit that wide left. Roosevelt up 3-1 in set number 3. Hertz swings, and that is long. 4-1 in the early going. Moncur remains at that service line. She stands and sets, or stands and serves, excuse me. Caitlin Ewing, a 5'10" senior. Good swing, but her momentum just carried her into the net for a net violation. Point will go to Watertown as Munger goes back to serve. Golden with the pass. Nilsson with the attack, and off of Munger playing the back row. Point to Roosevelt. McKinley Jacobson, a sophomore, back to serve for the Rough Riders. Nielsen paints the line. Goes sharp cross. Really impressed with Maya Nielsen, just a junior. She stands at 5'9", so not overly tall, but really good arm movement and hand positioning to get that down ball and that rotation. A lot of good control by Nilsson as we see Roosevelt extend their lead to 7-2 in set number 3. We'll take it as well. We'll be right back. As we look at set number 3, Maya Nilsson has 9 kills on 3 errors, 2 blocks, and 3 digs in this match so far this evening. As we see Jacobson back to serve, and she paints the back line for an ace. And you can see the energy right now for Roosevelt as their bench is all in. You know, after that ace, they slid onto the ground, and so they can see the, you know, excitement and the energy. And then on the arrow side, really from the get-go here tonight, the arrows have just seemed flat. Roosevelt playing with a lot more energy, seeing a lot more smiles on the Roosevelt side. And you know, these are matches that the Arrows obviously expected to win, and you know, sometimes people call these a gotcha game. That teams, you know, while they say they don't look past, the expectation is that the Arrows would win this. And you know, the girls maybe didn't take their normal prep. We'll see what happens here this evening. But point to the Arrows as we see a double hit is called on Roosevelt. And I believe they called that on Nilsson. Hogue back to serve, and Hogue might have been saved right there. It looked like it was going to go long as it was kind of sailing, but it was off of Olivia Volkmer. And another ace for Hogue. Hogue now with 3 aces on the evening. Make it 4 aces for Hogue. So Hensley Hogue, is that 3 in a row for Hensley Hogue? I think it is. Where's she gonna go now? And is that gonna be? Make it 5 aces for Hensley Hogue. And now you see some excitement coming from the Watertown bench. So maybe that's what needed, a little spark plug for the Arrows. And you see 4 straight aces by the junior of Hensley Hogue. And, you know, she's got that. She tosses it up with her right hand, and then she comes back in that arrow, you know, she puts her elbow back and over the top with that right arm. Just a little bit unorthodox, but boy, we've talked about her before and how just a great server she is. And Roosevelt's feeling it right now. 4 straight aces in a row, and Hogue's 5th ace on the night. So she'll be coming back out to serve after this timeout from Roosevelt. And Roosevelt will regroup and just talk about, hey, get our platform, you're fine. Keep your you know, hips below the ball and your body centered. Pass it up, get 1 pass and get back into this match. Of course, Hogue now looking at having Roosevelt on the ropes. We'll see where she goes this time. She is gonna go to the libero. And that is going to be off of Tipton. That's something Tipton can work on. You can see she's going really lateral up and down rather than penetrating that net and getting that push block. Roosevelt does finally break the serve of Hogue. And we see Kerrigan Klatt come back and get the kill. Klatt now with her 8th kill on the evening. Drummers can't do anything with it but free ball it. Monker's gonna go to the right side. And Ewing just mishits that one. Didn't open up wide. She hit it right where her shoulders were pointed before hitting air. Russell to Klatt, and Klatt goes down. Boom goes the dynamite for Kerrigan Klatt. You could see she got on top of that one and down. The defender was there, but what do you do when that's coming at 50, 55 miles an hour right down at you? Not a lot of time to get a good dig up. And you just don't see that a lot in high school volleyball. So fantastic attack there by Kerrigan Klatt. Russell's gonna go to Bach. Bach finds the open court. Now you can feel the energy on the Watertown Arrow side, and that was the spark plug of Hensley Hogue that started that. Another big swing this time. It's a big time block to slow that momentum of the Arrows, and that was Eva Peterson with that block from the right side. Good timing by Peterson. And then the service error for Roosevelt, giving the side out right back to Watertown. That will put Ellie Thury back at the service line. Ellie Thury, a 93.3% server. Very reliable, good server from that service line. Kill for Hertz. You can see timing just not quite right there between Russell and Hertz. Hertz had to stop her approach and go really just straight up and down. She did that. Of course, Hertz maybe a little bit undersized on that outside, but does have that jumping ability and able to get the kill as the Arrows are going to get a free ball. Russell looking, go to Munger. Munger on the slide. It is dug out by Roosevelt. Big kill by Olivia Beagley, the junior. That is Beagley's second kill on the evening. Again, our stats up here in the booth are unofficial. Ace for Beagley, so she goes from a kill right to the service line. Russell sets that up to the outside. Munger, good ball control, just gets that across, and kill for Roosevelt. And I see the trainer working with Aubrey Terrell, the junior middle hitter for Roosevelt, down in the sideline. So hopefully she's okay, just kind of having a conversation with her. Point to the Arrows. Hertz again with another kill. Aubrey Terrell has had 2 blocks here tonight, so. And it looks like they've got some ice on Terrell's knee, so she may not be coming back into this match, but we certainly hope she's okay. As we see Hertz get another kill. by the outside hitter of Maya Nielsen. Nielsen now in double digits for the Rough Riders. She's got 10 kills on the evening. That'll send the setter to the service line. She stands a long ways back there. She's got to be close to 10 meters behind the back line or end line, and she stands and serves, so no momentum going forward, but good server. So we see Hurt swings, blocked by the tandem of Jacobson and the outside, or the right side. I believe that's gonna be Ewing. Yes, that is Jacobson and Ewing that teamed up for that block on Hertz. Setter is out, so Libero takes second ball. And another line shot by the Arrows. We see Tipton. She goes line and kill. Tipton with her third kill on the evening. As we see the middle blocker of Reese Munger go back to serve. Roosevelt looking for a touch. No touch called. Point to the Arrows. Watertown Arrows now extend their lead to 2, 18-16 in set number 3. Ace for Munger. Reese Munger with her first ace on the evening. Munger serves at about an 88.1%. Has 17 aces on the year. Miss hit by Jacobson. Point to the Watertown Arrows. Munger will remain at the service line. Service error. That'll send McKinley Jacobson back to serve for Sioux Falls. Boom goes the dynamite for Torrance. Tipton now hitting out of the middle. And that is something we have talked about, is that balance and how, you know, Coach Bellum and Kinsey Russell moves these hitters around the net. Does not allow the blockers to set up or prepare for one particular player, because you just don't know where they're going to be coming from. And they are a versatile bunch. They can hit out of any position along this net. As we see that service specialist come back into the game in Hogue. 5 aces here tonight, had 4 in a row at one time. Big hit by Kerrigan Clack. She is now in double digits here this evening. 10 kills, no errors, 1 block. This is set number 3. Watertown's up 23-17. 1 set apiece. We'll be back for the conclusion of set number 3 in just a moment. And welcome back to the Watertown Civic Arena. Hensley Hogue serving with the Arrows up 24-17. miscommunication. Nielsen free balls that over to the Arrows. Tipton with the swing, puts that down, and they are going to call Tipton for being in the net. Her momentum did. I saw it. I wasn't sure if it was going to be called, but the up ref saw it happen, and the momentum of Tipton just carried her into the net. Point does go to the Rough Riders. Rough Riders now having to put 6 on the board to stay in this match, or this set, and they aren't able to do it, as Bach is going to send the Arrows into set number 4 with a 2-1 advantage. Shout out to the Watertown Arrows boys and girls soccer teams, as both are playing in postseason play down in Sioux Falls. Both teams come out with a victory, so congratulations to the Watertown boys and girls soccer teams for that postseason win. And welcome back to the Watertown Civic Arena for set number 4. The Watertown Arrows, after dropping set number 1, come back to win sets 2 and 3, which brings us here to set number 4, where Roosevelt jumps out on top with the first point. You could feel the shift in momentum in set number 3 when Hensley Hove was back to serve. She went 4 aces in a row. Getting 1 ace is difficult enough. 2 aces in a row. Okay. 3 aces in a row. unheard of. 4 especially unheard of, and especially at the AA level. So just a rare thing that we saw here tonight, rare feat by Hensley Hogue, seeing her get 4 aces in a row at this AA level. As we see Roosevelt now jumping out to a 3-0 lead as the setter for Roosevelt. Monker gets an ace. Overpass. Good dig by Thury on that attack from the overpass. And there's a block by Ellis. Callie Ellis, big block off of Maya Nilsson's outside hitter attack. Going to Nilsson. Nilsson swings. Good dig by Andy Olson. She's in position. Now Hertz with the swing. Dug out by the libero of Volkmer. And we see Nilsson goes right back to work from that outside position off of the blocker for a kill. Roosevelt's McKinley Jacobson back to serve. Siri Bach with the power bomb from the outside hitter position. Siri Bach going to play at Northwestern in the cities. She has committed to continue her academic and athletic career there, so congratulations to Siri Bach. As we see Hensley Hogue back at the service line. This time she gets another ace, so she's got 6 aces in this match, and then serves that one into the net for a service error. But just a fantastic night at the service line for Hensley Hogue. Kerrigan Platt, she is dug up. Good dig by Volkmer. Each team trading blows right now. Dug out by Roosevelt. And just a tight set, not a lot that Caitlin Ewing could do there. Just a tight set. I'm going to try and get her a little bit off of the net, give her an opportunity to swing. That point does go to Watertown. We'll have Jordan Remmers back to serve for the Arrows. Beagley tries to go line, sends it too far left for an arrow point. And there you see Remmers with a service error, sends that out the back line. That is going to be Remmers' 4th service error here tonight. Uncharacteristic for Jordan Remmers to have that many errors. I mean, she's a 90.3% server, and tonight with 4 service errors. So you've got Hensley Hogue over there with 6 aces on the opposite side. So you know, maybe things even out a little bit. Russell's going to go to the slide. Munger slide attack is dug out. Platt swings and gets the kill. Now with 11 kills on the evening, both her and Hertz at 11 for the Arrows. Ace. That ace is put in the books by Siri Bach. Watertown Arrows have 11 aces in this match. You say, wow, that just doesn't happen. Coach Ketwig Kelly Ketwig for the Watertown Arrows, she calls the set, or the serves generally, for Watertown. Didn't see her call the serve there, but most instances she's going to give the location of where she wants the server to serve. And as we saw, Siri Bach taking the second ball there as a setter, showing the versatility. Point does go to Roosevelt, the libero of Volkmer, to serve. We'll see Munger, she swings and she is blocked, and miscommunication there between, that's probably gonna be, I would say, Klatt. Yeah, it's tough. So Klatt's hitting out of that right side, Munger hitting out of the left side, but Kinsey is in the front row for the Arrows. So when she goes back to set, and it's not a set that puts her along the net to, use a middle or a right side, she's got to go to that left side, and she did that there, but nobody was home. So miscommunication either by Klatt or Munger, and likely Klatt was to get over there, but not enough time. So those two, and Munger and Klatt will just communicate a little bit and learn from that play, I'm sure, of who's going to take that ball if that situation were to happen again. As we see Ellie Thury. We talked about one, there's Ellie Thury getting an ace. And I think we've got Callie Ellis doing the worm, I think, from the bench, and that's what we like to see. Like to see that energy from the Watertown bench. That energy was seen early and often by Roosevelt. Good attack from the right side by Beakley, down for a kill. We talked about one former Watertown Arrow last year playing some college ball, but there's a couple others, and Ellie Thury's sister, Emery, playing for St. Cloud State, and St. Cloud State, a ranked team in the NSIC. She's having a really good season for St. Cloud. And then they also have Madison Grimsrud playing at Dakota Wesleyan, and she also playing really well for the Tigers down there in Mitchell, as we see a big hit coming out of the middle for Roosevelt, climbing right back into this, and only down by 2 in set number 4. Good up by Hertz to save that one. Russell's gonna go to her, see if she can finish it. Miss hit, free ball to the Arrows. Russell's gonna set something up, probably a slide, does to Munger. Munger hits, and they're gonna say it was touched by Roosevelt. Nonetheless, Anna Hertz hits that into the net for hitting air, and you see she claps her hands hard, and that's something that Hertz has really worked to improve on, is having that memory of a goldfish, and forgetting those maybe hitting airs and coming right back to the next one. She's grown, she's developed a lot in a year. Last year, those types of plays she would just get really frustrated, and really worked out, has worked on that. Really proud of her for that development. Although, there you can see she's a little frustrated. So, you know, is that again, the broadcaster jinx giving her all those props, and now you can see the frustration. So this would be an area that for her to work on. Haven't really seen that this year. Nilsson swings, and that is out. You could see Ellie Thury was going to go, and she pulls back her left arm, lets that go long. So good decision by Ellie Thury. And stay with us for the Dakota Land Federal Credit Union DFS Insurance postgame show. We're going to be joined this evening, I believe, by Ellie Thury as we see a service error for the Arrows. That service error was brought to you by Andy Olson. And you see the Rough Riders, after Bach hit that, you saw the Rough Riders, they went up with their hands and they just kind of shook them in the air. And that is saying, hey, I didn't touch it. There is no touch. And the officials agreed with the Rough Riders, and point did go to Sioux Falls, which knotted up this ball game 14-14. Hurts the strong throw attack or push attack off of the blocker and out. So good, intelligent move there by Hurts as we see the service specialist of Hogue come back into this match. Roosevelt wants to break that serve of Hogue as quickly as possible. Russell looking to keep her at the service line, and she will with a kill from Callie Ellis. So Callie Ellis in for this fourth set. As her third kill on the evening. The Arrows are going to get a free ball. Russell's going to go to the middle where great timing. Bach was in the air exactly where she needed to before Russell had even released the ball. And that timing, it was just to perfection. Not a lot you can do when the speed of that middle and timing worked out. And we see a touch called by the line judge. You can see Coach Bellum not agreeing with that, but she's generally not one to say a lot to the officials. Point will go to Roosevelt. Ellis was blocked, but they're going to call a Rough Rider into the net. I think they call maybe Peterson. Could have been her. I couldn't tell if it was Beagley. Ace for Jordan Remmers. Arrows up 19-15. This is set number 4. The Arrows do lead 2-1. Make sure you stay with us for the Dakota Land Federal Credit Union DFS Insurance post-game show. And there, the down judge says that the attacker for the Rough Riders, and that's Caitlin Ewing, it went over the net, I believe, and giving the head coach for Roosevelt the explanation as to what he saw. Good attack by Beagley. Beagley with the kill. Beagley now with 4 kills on the evening. Siri Bach, you can see she's feeling it. She was elevated in the air, saw the court, tried to go line, just sent it wide right. 2 miss hits in a row for Siri Bach. Arrows call a timeout. They don't want to keep Roosevelt close. They're up by 2. This is set number 4. Arrows up 2 sets to 1. We'll be back for the conclusion of set number 4. We're live on Arrow TV. And we're back for the conclusion of set number 4. Moncure gonna go to the outside. Kill for Beagley. Beagley with her 5th kill on the evening. That will keep Bergen Roth back at the service line. Roth jump serves that, good serve. Gonna send the Arrows out of system. Free ball to Roosevelt. See if they can take advantage. Miscommunication, they don't take advantage there. Back row attack and down for the kill. So Maya Nilsson, neither team really fluid there. Little sloppy by both teams, but Nilsson with a back row attack gets that one to drop. It is 20-20 in set number 4. Russell, she's gonna give a back row. No, it's free ball by Bach. Middle attack. Setter is now out. Olsen's gonna go to Klatt. Klatt tips that over. Moncure to the right side where Beagley swings and hits that wide left. 21-20 sends Siri Bach back to the service line. Bach, an 85.7% server, is 1 ace on the year. Moncure to Beagley. Beagley unable to get anything on that one and into the net. Watertown up by 2. We'll keep Bach at the service line. Bach, a senior. Moncure is the dump, but Bach is there, rolls, and gives that, saves that. So great defensive play by Siri Bach. Gets that up in the air, and Kerrigan Klatt says, thank you, I wanted another kill. And she gets a kill that puts her at 13 kills here this evening. Arrows up 23-20 in set number 4. The Watertown Arrows did drop set number 1 to Roosevelt, 22-25. And then they came back in set number 2, defeating Roosevelt 25-15. And again in set number 3, 25-18. And really the energy completely flipped for the Arrows. The Arrows were actually down in set number 3, and the energy came right back to them with Hensley Hogue at the service line when she went, 4 in a row aces? She's got 6 aces on the evening, which is just phenomenal. But 4 in a row. As we see Bach back to serve. Moncure with the pass set. Back row attack to Nilsson. Dig by Bach. Kerrigan gonna set up Remmers in the back row. Remmers down balls it. Free ball now to the Arrows. Hoag's going to go to Kerrigan Klatt, and Kerrigan with a big swing. Now with 14 kills. Rough Riders take another timeout. The Arrows up 24-20 in this battle between the Rough Riders and the Watertown Arrows. And that is one of the things, when Russell is able to get a good pass and she can have multiple options, this Watertown Arrow team is fun to watch. They have got hitters across the front and depth. I mean, they're rotating in Torrance Tipton. They're rotating in Callie Ellis. Ellie Thury, certainly capable of playing front row. You know, they have got the depth that, you know, hey, Watertown Arrows, they are a formidable team this year. They've got some underclassmen yet to come, but the unfinished business and, you know, this team has the ability to get back to that state tournament. And there you see them finish on the block by the Watertown Arrows and Kerrigan Klatt as the Arrows finish out the 4-set win over the Roosevelt Rough Riders, 3-0. We'll stay with us for the Dakota Land Federal Credit Union and DFS Insurance post-game show as we name our player of the game, and we will have an opportunity to meet with the senior defensive specialist outside hitter of Ellie Thury. As we run down our statistics, and again, our statistics are all unofficial here in the Aero TV booth. For Sioux Falls Roosevelt, they have 7 aces, and they are led by Christy Moncure with 3 and Olivia Beagley with 2. Moncure had 24 assists. And in the kills area, Maya Nilsson, just a fantastic outside hitter for Sioux Falls Roosevelt. She is the only hitter in double digits for the Rough Riders, and she has 12. There are 3 players with 5 kills apiece. Olivia Beagley has 5. McKinley Jacobson has 5. And Eva Peterson with 5. Aubrey Terrell with 1 and Christy Moncure with 1. Aubrey Terrell did exit this match early due to an injury, and we hope that she is okay. She's got some ice on her knee, so hopefully nothing serious there. The Roosevelt Rough Riders, however, they owned the net here tonight in the block category. They had 17 blocks led by McKinley Jacobson. She had 6 blocks, followed by Maya Nilsson with 3, Aubrey Terrell and Eva Peterson with 2. And following that up with 1 block apiece is Moncure and Beagley. In the dig category, the Roosevelt Rough Riders, led by Olivia Volkmer. She wears the libero jersey for the Rough Riders, and she had 15 digs, followed by Bergen Roth, a DS, with 8, Maya Nilsson 6, Christy Moncure, the setter, with 7, and Hallie Golden with 5. Caitlin Ewing also playing in this game from that right side position. For the Arrows, as we break down this match and name our Dakota Land Federal Credit Union Player of the Game, we are going to give that to Kerrigan Klatt here this evening with 14 kills and 3 blocks, no errors. So she didn't have an error on the evening, ended with 14 kills. Anna Hertz also with 14 kills. We're going to be joined here shortly by Ellie Thury. And Ellie Thury, the senior outside hitter, defensive specialist for the Arrows, has 1 ace and 7 digs. So the Watertown Arrows defeat the Roosevelt Rough Riders 3-1 in here in the Watertown Civic Arena. And we are joined by Ellie Thury. Ellie, is this your first time to the Aero TV booth?
Yeah.
It is. Well, welcome.
Thanks.
We're glad to have you. So, big match here tonight in, some would say, maybe a gotcha game. You know, you guys come in as the 4th ranked team. Roosevelt not having the record of the season that they hope, you know, only 2 wins on the season. But you started off this, they got you in the first set. Is that, you know, what was the talk, what was going on during that first set?
Just saying, like, we need to play our game. Sometimes when we come out, we just don't have a lot of energy, or we'll let teams just get a run right away, and then the energy just kind of goes down, which is what usually happens.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that energy. You know, you were in that, I think it was the 3rd set, and Hensley Hogue was at the service line tonight. And you know, I mean, you serve all the time in every match, and getting 1 ace is difficult enough. She ends up with, what, 4 aces in a row.
Yeah.
Just how awesome is that?
That brought a lot of energy, and I think that really helped during the game.
Yeah, I think that was kind of a game changer here tonight in at least the energy column for the Arrows and your team. In fact, I think I saw Callie Ellis doing the worm.
Yep, she would come off the bench and do the worm if we got an ace for anyone.
So for anyone.
Yep.
So, okay, well, I noticed it. She was doing it like back to back, you know.
Yeah, when Hensley got like 4 in a row, she was like, I'm tired.
Very good. Well, so this is your senior year, and you started off and playing outside. You've kind of transitioned a little bit to the DS, and I think that's a testament to your versatility. You can hit, you can play the back row, you can really play anything, and you've been playing with your teammates for a long time. Tell me about that, just being your senior year and playing with your friends.
Sometimes I forget, and then once I remember, it's kind of like this is really like my last year playing with them, and it gets kind of sad. So I'm trying to have like the most fun I can and just enjoy this last season with them.
Well, I think that's the right attitude, Ellie. It goes by really fast, and you know, you're playing with a team that it's a really good team. It's a team that I think is a close team, and what does it mean to be a senior and to give back to, you know, there's some juniors here that are pretty good too and going to be following you guys. So what's it like being mentors for those juniors?
Well, it's really fun, especially seeing that they're really good. Like, they'll do really good next year, so just trying to like encourage them and remind them that it's going to be them next year being the seniors, so just being leaders for them. Perfect.
Well, you've got a whole year yet to go here, but I've got a couple of questions for you. Well, let me just ask you, who is the loudest and or funniest on your team? Kerrigan. And where does she get that from? She's like a competitive cheerleader, right?
I'm gonna guess she gets it from cheer.
Yeah.
I think she's pretty loud in cheer, so I think she just brings down the court, and it really helps.
You can see that during those games as well. So what is your pregame hype song or superstition?
I don't really have a pregame hype song. Superstition. I mean, I really like to eat a bagel sometimes.
Eat a bagel before games or after games?
Like during like the freshman, junior game, that one.
Butter, cream cheese, plain?
Cream cheese.
Cream cheese. All right, I can go with you there. Yeah, I'm there. So you get one dream match against any team in the country. Who do you face and why?
Any team in the country? I want to play O'Gorman again, actually.
O'Gorman,
I
yeah.
want to go play O'Gorman again.
Well, I think you guys have a chance to do that. You guys are a fantastic team. Keep playing hard, and it's you guys are a lot of fun to watch. And I think that goal is the monument, right? All right. Well, thanks for joining us here on Aero TV and the Dakota Land Federal Credit Union post-game show. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
There you have it, the senior outside hitter, defensive specialist for the Watertown Arrows in Ellie Thury, joining us here on the Dakota Land Federal Credit Union post-game show. As we wrap things up tonight, our player of the game is Kerrigan Klatt with 14 kills on no errors here this evening. Just a fantastic match for her. And the Watertown Arrows do come out with a 3-1 victory. As I do each and every game here on Aero TV, I want to remind you that an arrow can only be shot by pulling it backward. So when life is dragging you back with difficulties, it means it's going to launch you into something great. So just keep aiming and keep focusing, and it will launch you into just greatness. Hey, for all of us here at Aero TV, I want to say good evening.